Hi Libra, here is a general look at your solar chart for May 2016, and this is Diana reporting to you from a camper van somewhere in Europe. I'm going to mention this month a couple of the outer planets because I don't do that normally. It's written up on my website though, but I'll just give a sort of a reminder of what's ticking away in the background all the time when these faster moving personal inner planets are whizzing past and doing different things every day. I mean, every week, every month, all the time. So you've got Uranus in your opposite sign, and Uranus is about change. It came in 2011 and it will leave in 2018, and no degree of Libra will go untouched by this, or Libra rising. At the moment, it's you Librans born 13th to 17th of October, or with 20 to 24 degrees rising. So because of the change brought into your life, and maybe quite unexpected, and you've got to be flexible and adaptable to deal with it, your life is changing, it's transforming, it's morphing into something that was maybe not in the plan. But as a very famous Libran once said, life is what happens when we're making other plans. So this is what's going on, and it could be that there is somebody significant in your life that now you see them, now you don't, and they're fluctuating all the time, either because they choose it or because of what's happening to them. It can be for various reasons, but if Uranus is very near to your sun at the moment, then you likely know kind of what I'm talking about here. Or indeed, it could be, if you know your natal chart, on any of your other planets or important points. And those patterns associated with your sun in Libra, or the planets, or the important points, the ascendant, is that these things are likely to be changing now as well. And others will maybe, I don't know, perhaps sympathize with your having to change plans, rethink, tweak, adapt again because of some certain others in close relationship to you. Now, you could even start behaving in a different kind of a way during this transit. Now, the sun is the ruler of the physical heart and spinal column, and Uranus is the ruler of the parasympathetic nervous system. So these things can upset the body's rhythms, or maybe it's not you, maybe it's this significant other. And bear that in mind, but make sure that everybody's eating well, and you're eating well. And by well, I don't necessarily mean the old-fashioned way, but eating for high vibration, eating for energy. And I'm really into fruit at the moment, because in the northern hemisphere we're coming into our spring, and fruit's where it's at. It cleans you out, and it sharpens all your senses, it clears your head, and what's not to like about that after a long winter, you know, or indeed all the time. So looking after that, this energy of Uranus can make you feel a bit jittery, a bit kind of uncertain, don't quite know what's going to happen next or how to handle things. But what I've observed is that we're never challenged with more than we're fit to handle. And ultimately, you're going to, some old scenarios are going to just be broken down and just melted away, and then there will be new programs kind of, you know, applied, and you will be, you know, you will be in a different in a kind of a different dimension of yourself, really, and then that those other parts of yourself that were maybe in the past latent, they're now coming out to the fore. Uranus is a very progressive energy, actually, even though it is in quite a challenging angle to your sun. Even though it's uncomfortable at the time to go through these changes, which are sudden and take you by surprise, but then you push through, and then you realize that actually that old way, it was just about time to let go of that old way anyway. And that's my other point, which is Pluto. And Pluto will have your heart yearning for change, or Pluto will have that deeper part of your knowing seeking change, seeking a more authentic way of being for yourself. But Pluto is different to Uranus in that Pluto is quite deep down and emotional and comes from our deep instinct. Uranus is often outside things coming at us, right? So we've got Pluto coming at you, not from your opposite sign, but from Capricorn, which is at the bottom of at the root of your chart, and that's to do with family, parents, either your own or you as a parent, and location, place on the map. And so again, this feeling of change and transformation, and not settled with that, specifically for those of you born the 8th to the 10th of October, or with 16 to 18 degrees rising at the moment. There's this feeling of this is a work in progress here, related to family, related to point on the map, related to tribe, related to location in some different kind of a way as well. So that's just a mention of those two, which I don't do normally. That's just for you to know that they're ticking away in the background there. Now, until the 21st, the sun is in a gear shifting mode. So this is you feeling your way, sensing your way. It could be about joint projects, joint property, joint monies, anything that you haven't got complete freehand control of yourself, but you have to work through or with from another's a shared responsibility anyway, with another, or it can be that there is another element there which is which you have to work with or work around, in fact. Right, so you could be musing over some deeper questions at this time regarding property, drilling down. This is a great time for research, actually. This is a great time for getting to the truth on something, whether it's regarding property or money, whether it's regarding anything, really, health, anything. So as you're going forward, you're sensing, you're feeling, and you can get quite passionate about things, especially about another as well at this time with Venus here. In fact, I would say with Venus here up until the 24th, you possibly could be doing quite well in a financial property sort of way, or indirectly perhaps, or it could be directly, of course, but another could touch your feelings deeply, or you could feel romantically inclined towards someone, or it could be somebody that you're in relationship with, whether it's a fleeting or a long-term relationship, is helping you out financially, somebody picking up the tab, somebody maybe earning well at this time through the offices of another. Some of you could be feeling, if it's a love sort of scenario, shifting into more commitment, because this is something that's touching you deeply. And then Venus moves on the 24th, the Sun moves on the 21st, and goes into a very, very outgoing, faster paced area, connecting with people from other countries, moving, traveling, maybe signing up for something to study or something new, which you jump in at the deep end, or just generally getting outside of the routine box, pushing the envelope. Would be good, and getting a better understanding, broadening your understanding, or broadening your area of operation physically as well. Now Mercury is retrograde until the 22nd, so that can slow some things down and you're waiting to hear back from somebody on something regarding property maybe, or money, or something, you know, some agreement, some kind of contract. So it could be like that. And then, but Venus in there is usually the buffering energy, the sort of the oiling of the wheels. And then Venus, the Sun moves on the 21st, Venus moves on the 24th, and goes into this much outgoing. But Mercury is a bit dragging his feet up until the 22nd. So might have to rethink plans, or rethink strategies, or rethink travel, or people could let you down regarding travel, you know. And it's like, okay, you've got to be kind of, able to be flexible, really, and it does give you the opportunities to think things through a little bit better, though, because you might find yourself somewhere that you weren't expecting to be, because that wasn't on the schedule, you know. So, you know, you can do some more of this research, or do some more of this deeper questioning, perhaps, that I've mentioned with Pluto. Mars is retrograde all month. This tends to mute the sharpness of Mars. It means that if you want to go ahead with something which is perhaps confrontational or challenging in some way, or somebody does it to you, indeed, it could kind of drag on and on and on. So it's better not to go at it, you know, full on. It's better to be a bit sneaky and oblique, really, to get to, you know, again, that research thing, that strategy thing. And where Mars is, of course, is in your house of communications. It's a great time to connect with people. It can be about paperwork again. It can be about getting the nuggets of information, but maybe not putting your cards on the table, not being absolutely bringing in like the real muscle, but it's just being kind of finding out what you need to know, sourcing what you need to source, and not worrying too much why people are saying these things or behaving in this way, you know, not going into it too deeply, keeping lines of communication open, and that will serve you well later on. And in general, there could be more correspondence, or maybe networking that you've got to get involved in, and defining certain objectives, though that'll be clearer. Making decisions about things, that'll be clearer for you. Now, new potentials will be in the wind starting from the 21st. Okay, but you still might have to just, you know, keep your powder dry for a while. It doesn't mean to say you're not still going forwards with that drive, with that passion, but you're just doing it in this kind of strategic way, you know. Now Saturn is in a positive angle to your sun sign and will be until late 2017. So this is a time when you should be working consistently and routinely at travel, short distance mostly, speaking, writing. Great time for study, actually. Studying a subject, getting that certificate on the wall or in the drawer, which is where I keep mine. In fact, I don't know where half of them are now. You kind of distill after many, many years, you know. You kind of come out of your head and go into the body more once you've done all those years of intellectual seeking. But anyway, I digress. So you should be developing communications and people skills now. And your people skills and communication skills are probably pretty good anyway, Libra, but this is the time for you to develop them even further. Also self-expression through art, creatively, and this is the time for you to shine your light, but also to listen, to learn to listen, to read between the lines, and to work harder maybe at being clear about what you meant to say. And also to work harder at really listening to what they said. You know, not just assuming, oh yeah, I heard that, but just kind of being carefuler now. Carefuler, I don't know that that's a word, but you know what I mean, about how you are transmitting, conveying, but also making sure that how you're listening, and did you hear it right? And then if you did hear it right, then of course it's quite another thing about what you think of it and what you're going to do about it. Librans born the 4th to the 8th of October, or with 12 to 16 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most. Excuse me. And Jupiter is in the sign before yours until September. And this is a period for you to be in that chrysalis, in that behind the scenes mode with something bigger that's going to be coming forward from September onwards. Or if you have Libra rising, it could be from the degree of your rising sign onwards. And that will be your year to really, really expand and grow. And that will be from September for you Sun Libra people. And Moon Libra people, and it's a good time for developing projects, tying up loose ends, harking back to the past maybe a bit and tying up loose ends from there, collaborating with others on projects, again behind the scenes, but which nurture and care maybe for others, doing more for another in a supportive way behind the scenes. That's a biggie. But also others may be doing a little bit more for you behind the scenes as well. And this is also an area where you can be your own worst enemy and get back into awful bad habits or behaviors and shooting yourself in the foot because it's totally counterproductive. So healing or spiritual practices or imaginative work would be a good thing to be getting into during this transit. And you Libras born the 4th to the 7th of October, or with 12 to 15 degrees rising, are going to feel this energy the most. And that's it for May. This stuff's written up on DianaGarland.com if you want to read any bits of it. And if you know your moon sign or your rising sign, listen to those, and I will see you the next time.